God, you've given me these two precious boys, and they're gifts to me. And I don't want to do anything that would, number one, hinder their relationship with you. And number two, cause me to be out of bounds that would, throw the whole family out of bounds.
Welcome to the Ministry Wives and Women podcast. This is a place where we openly address the challenging realities of ministry and point one another to Jesus and the gospel. Whether you're thriving, barely holding on, or somewhere in between, you are not alone. I'm Andrea Griffith, and each episode brings honest conversations, biblical encouragement, and stories from women who understand this calling. This podcast is part of the Church Hub, where we're committed to strengthening ministry leaders and the families who walk with them. We're so glad you're here. Welcome to the Church Hub podcast. I have my good friend here today, Holly Mendenhall.
Hello.
So glad to have you. And I cannot even begin to tell you all the ways that Holly has served in ministry. I can tell you that her husband, Matt, served as our executive pastor in the first church that we planted. And Holly brought so much joy, so much fun. And Holly and Matt are helping us as we plant again. And she's still bringing the fun.
I try, Andrea. I try.
She does. And in fact, we have scheduled now for 2 years in a row, all Holly's idea. Every year, the four of us go to a water park together.
Yeah, it's going to become our staff meeting, I think. I think we need to have it as an annual staff meeting.
Yes.
We have so much fun, Andrea. The Raging Rapids has been where we've solved all the world's problems,
yes.
I think. Yeah. It was so much fun just to see Trent kick back, relaxing as he's floating down the river and talking about the Lord and what the church is going to look like, and laughing as somebody goes flying down the river ahead of somebody else. And hey, if I can say anything today, it's have fun.
That is so good, because your pastor and his wife, they need fun. They need fun desperately. Yes.
We all do.
Yes. And Matt and Holly have brought that for us for years now. And so thank you for bringing some fun to the Church Hub podcast today.
Hey, I'm going to try.
Yeah. Yes. So I just want to start by asking you, I know some of the roles that you've done in ministry. Tell us a little bit about you and Matt, how many years you've been in ministry, the things you've done. I know it is a long list, and I don't even know if I know everything you've done. So I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, I'd love to share. Great question. We've been married for almost 27 years and have moved. Well, I'm not going to say how many times we've moved. I can say that we are currently in our 23rd address.
Oh, my goodness.
Whether it be military or ministry, we have moved a lot. And obviously have taken on different roles and done different things as we've gone to different churches in those different locations. And we started off in children's ministry. Loved it. Loved children's ministry. We actually, I call it affectionately the big toe of the church.
Why?
Well, it's the big toe because it's not pretty. Okay. Sometimes it's stinky. But if you stub your big toe, if it's hurt, it'll throw your whole gait off.
That's right.
So it's vital.
It is vital.
It is vital to the body.
Hurt my toe before and realized just how vital
exactly,
it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are grateful that the Lord started us off in our ministry journey in children's ministry. Yeah. Serving there and associate pastor. My husband was an associate pastor at another church and executive pastor with you guys. Yeah. And, also did the church planting school out in Chicago and thought we were going to plant a church, but the Lord had other plans for us, which we could get into later. Yeah. But also then my husband became a chaplain in the Air Force. And that was just a great ministry field. Lots of awesome things happened in that. So
and I've
long time in ministry.
A very long time, a lot of different hats.
Yes.
And you've done them all well. And even as you're telling all that, I'm thinking of the time that Matt was on staff as the executive pastor, but what was your role You were there in the office all the time.
Yes.
What all did you do?
Well, let's see. I helped you with women's ministry.
Yes.
So that was super fun. Also got to help the group's pastor with groups and the children's director with children's. And I think I ended up taking on the youth assistant as well. I wore many hats.
And you still do wear many hats. So tell us about your full-time job now.
Okay. Now I am an operations specialist for a company called Capturing Kids' Hearts. We provide leadership and culture and resiliency type training for the education department. So we train superintendents, teachers, principals on how to actually love the kids and have a relationship with the kids that is not just yes and no and a number, you're a test number. How do you actually pour into these kids that you're spending 6, 7, 8 hours a day with?
That's so
and make it meaningful.
And as I've talked to you, you've told me a little bit about how teachers or especially principals can feel really isolated.
Oh, yeah. Principals for sure. Yeah. A lot like pastors' wives. You know, they have to be careful on, you know, if they're having a bad day, who can I trust? These are people that work for me. And, you know, so we provide a safe place for principals to gather together from all over the country and talk about some of these things that they're experiencing, you know, and how to lean on one another with, well, what do you do? And this is how I do it, and just share.
Yeah. I'm hearing a lot of resiliency in what you're saying, just the need for resiliency in a lot of tough areas and situations. Yeah. And so as I'm listening to you, and I know you, so I know all these different roles. I've seen you wear the hats, multiple hats, and do them all well. I feel like you juggle flaming bowling balls. And you do it well. And as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking about a time I was invited to speak to a group of pastors' wives. And I was just kind of sharing what it looks like for me as a pastor's wife, the things that I'm passionate about, the things that I do. And I remember at the end of that time, a lady came up to me and she just asked me one question. She said, Andrea, how do you do all that and work and have a job? And I remember thinking, I got nothing. Because
honestly, I don't know. Am I doing it?
Yes. Because I had jobs all along the way, but they were kind of smaller jobs where I'd go and teach a couple of fitness classes.
Sure.
Or I'd go and I'd lead this thing, but it wasn't like a part-time job where I was working full-time hours, or it wasn't a full-time job. But I've watched you do that. And I would love to know how. Like, how do you do that type of thing? What have you learned? What are you learning as you juggle all that you juggle?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I want to say it's been different. It's looked different through the different ages of my kids, honestly.
So good. Yes.
And the different areas of ministry that my husband's in.
Yeah.
You know, when the kids were younger, I took on part-time jobs, like what you're saying. I taught gymnastics.
Yeah.
And so I got to wear jammies to work, which who doesn't want to do that? And play with kids and have just a great time doing that. You know, it wasn't a job that, you know, was overwhelming with needs, you know. So I knew that I needed to find something like that to support my husband well. And gymnastics just is what I fell into when the kids were younger, and it was a lot of fun. But
can I even stop you there?
Yeah.
Because you've just started, but one thing you just said that was so wise, I thought, in the church, you're needed every second for major crisis type things.
Yeah.
And so with your job as a gymnastics coach, I know you did gymnastics all growing up, and then as a gymnastics coach, that has a lot less consequences.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. The difference between crises or the difference between the emotional level
That's it.
of involvement.
I could unplug.
Yes.
Yes.
So here's one thing I'm hearing from you. Just finding a job that is less of maybe an emotional drain, pull,
Yes.
Constantly on. I get to switch gears into something maybe that's fun.
Right.
Into something I look forward to.
Yes.
That's maybe going to replenish me so that when I go back, I've got something to give out of.
Yeah, that's it, 100%. And honestly, it let me just be Holly.
Yes.
I wasn't mom. I wasn't wife. I wasn't pastor's wife.
Good.
I was Holly. And
Yes.
Holly got to jump on a trampoline and be silly with kids.
Yes.
And honestly, it was a release.
Yes.
It was a release of the burdens of ministry.
Yeah. I found the same thing, but I think I found it much later than you.
Okay.
I didn't find it till our last few years at Gospel City when I started teaching fitness classes at the local gym and I could just come in, be me, lead a class, be accepted just for who I was on face value of leading this fitness class.
That's it.
And it was amazing, and it refueled me then to go back in to be able to give. But it took me a really long time to figure out what a blessing that would be.
Yeah.
That I didn't have to give everything at the church, but there were other areas that I could have fun and enjoy being.
Well, I think that's the great lie sometimes is we feel like we have to give everything at the church.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't.
Yeah.
And you can't.
You can't.
Yes.
You can't. And you learned that really early on.
I did. I learned that really early on in ministry.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So I interrupted you.
Oh, you're good.
So the first one was teaching gymnastics, being a gymnastics coach while your kids were little. And Matt was children's ministry at the time?
Yes. And I also... he was the one that, preached and ministered and taught. We had more of like a children's church type situation. So we mirrored what happened in the big people service, what we called it, in children's ministry. And so in the South, it was Wednesday nights and Sunday days. And so that was him. But I also worked at the church and did the administrative part of that. Volunteer management, crafts for the preschool, all of the things that come along with that. So a lot of times when we moved, we did ministry together like that.
Oh, yeah. That's what I've watched you model all these years is you and Matt, you work together as a team.
Yes.
And while you're doing that, you're raising 2 boys and you're working.
Yes.
And I've seen you be resilient through it all. And so help us know some other ways that you've, maybe even jobs that you've done that refueled you, or what was it that kept refueling you to continue to keep going, juggling all your juggling? You said you scaled it based on the age of your kids.
Yes. And so as the children got older, I think that my capacity grew for being able to be out of the home a little bit more. I did feel that burden of wanting to be in their lives as much as I could.
Yes.
So I was the homeroom mom, when they were little, and I tried to be there to get them on the bus every morning and to get home from the bus or to take them and to and from. And I really felt like the Lord gave me that as something that was important to our family. And so I always tried to honor that no matter what. And so when they got older and they could take themselves to and from school, or big brother could now drive little brother, although he put up much hesitation about that, I was like, I think I can start, giving a little bit more time and things to my job. And honestly, it was at that moment that I got into a little bit of a different field, still in the church sector with databases and websites, and started pursuing that avenue. And as the kids got older, then that grew, and eventually I'm back to full time now. But they're out of the house.
And again, so now I'm hearing I figured out what our priorities were
Yes.
as a family.
Yes.
And that's so important. And every family is going to look different. We're going to have different priorities. Some families are homeschooling while they're doing ministry.
Yep.
Some it's Christian school. Some it's public school. It doesn't matter what it is that we're doing, but what are our priorities?
Right. You've got to know those. And you know what? You've got to hold strong to them too.
Yes.
You know, you've got to protect them.
Yes. So how did you and Matt figure those out for your family?
Well, the first ministry assignment that we had, where he was the children's pastor and I was on staff as the administrator, you know, when you fill that role, when people no call or no show for their time that they're serving, you fill the hole.
Yes.
And, you know, I had not been in service for a long time because I kept filling that hole.
I get it.
And I was depleted.
Yeah.
I was at the end of myself.
Yeah.
And I made a statement foolishly on a Saturday morning. I said, I am going to be in church tomorrow. I don't care who doesn't show up. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that I'm in service.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you know, we had people not come, and I decided to stop trying to fill those holes on my own. And I went and grabbed a couple people and said, with tears in my eyes, I have to be in service today.
Yes.
And so they took that for me, that burden for me. But I walked into service and I was thinking I was going to have a great time with the Lord and I was going to worship my heart out and I was going to be fed and it was going to be great. And I literally sat down and cried the entire time.
Wow.
I just wept. Yeah. All of those emotions just came pouring out and I couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't stop it. And I afterwards went into my office and two of the elders' wives came in and said, "Are you okay?"
And
have we all heard those words as pastors' wives?
Yes. And I hope you said,
"No,
I'm not."
I didn't. But you know what? They actually, reprimanded me a little bit because they said, "Why were you doing this alone? Why did you not come to us? Why?" But I think that we think we can't.
Yeah.
We can't tell anybody that we can't do it or that we're weak and we need help or we see help as weakness, and, and they gave me a stern talking to and they made sure that once a month I was in service the whole weekend. Yeah. So I just needed to let people know what I was going through. Yeah. But that did set boundaries up for me, when we moved and went on to our next church. Yeah. I said, not only is it boundaries for my spiritual health, but I don't want my boys seeing their mom a mess because of the church.
That's so good. That's so good. So I'm hearing you talk about just advocating for yourself. First of all, maybe realizing I can't do it all and I shouldn't have to do it all. Yes. But then to take that next step of advocating for yourself to say, hey, I need some help. And that can be really scary.
It can. It can.
I remember a time where I felt like I needed to advocate for myself. And I had gone to two people and I had tried. And it didn't go well. It wasn't that they were mean or anything. I probably just didn't have the right words. And it just didn't convey what I was trying to say, and the depth of help that I felt like I needed obviously wasn't conveyed. And so the help didn't happen. And now that I look back on that, I wish I'd just kept going up the chain and that I'd kept asking for that help. I'd kept knocking on the door to say, I'm not doing well. I need help. I need to be seen.
Yes.
Because I think that it would have had a completely different outcome if I had advocated for myself a little stronger.
Yeah.
But I think that's hard to do.
Yeah.
I think we feel selfish advocating for ourselves. What else do you think are our reasons?
Well, to me, I just didn't know I could. I thought I had this mental image and this thought of who and what a pastor's wife was supposed to be. And if I didn't live up to that, it was failure. And which is so crazy to think. Hearing myself say it now is crazy.
Yeah.
But nobody teaches you how to be.
No.
And it doesn't, as much as we think there are playbooks out there, every church is different.
Yes.
Every staff is different.
Yeah.
Every situation is different.
Yeah.
And
just not knowing that it's okay for me to be healthy.
Yes.
In fact, it is a need that I am healthy.
Yes.
And so what can I do to create health around me? One of the things we like to talk about in our groups is, as a pastor and pastor's wife, who's shepherding your heart?
That's good.
Who's shepherding your heart? And a lot of times people see the pastor as shepherding their hearts out there. But we're asked the question, who shepherds your heart? And it's usually a surprise to people when I write down you. You are the one who has to shepherd your heart.
That's good, Andrea. Mm-hmm.
And it's right and good for you to shepherd your own heart. We see Jesus in Mark chapter 1. He spent the whole day healing people. He healed Peter's sick mother-in-law.
Yes.
It says when the sun was setting, the whole town came to him, and he healed many who came to him. The very next verse says, and before dawn, he was out meeting with his Father, praying to meet with his Father. What was he doing? He was shepherding his own heart.
Yeah.
And as pastors' wives, we have to shepherd our own hearts. And it sounds like
we can't operate from an empty cup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and you learned early on, maybe through not doing it right the first time, but that's how we learn.
That's how we learn. Failure is just an opportunity for growth.
Yes. Yeah. So we shepherd our own hearts, and then of course, podcasts, books, godly mentors that maybe we don't have a best friend relationship with them, but they speak into our lives through books, through podcasts, through radio, but then also that community that we need gospel friends.
That's right.
Because the gospel friends are the ones who can, like those ladies did for you.
Yes.
Who said, why are you even doing this?
Right.
Yeah, they were your gospel friends.
They were.
Yeah.
And I needed them.
Yeah, we all do. We all do. We all need those gospel friends. So how do you navigate the expectations that come with being a pastor's wife while maintaining your own job and your own productivity at work? Because I see you do it well.
How do I navigate? Well, priorities is a thing.
Going back to those
as
priorities,
well. Yep. Pastoral emergencies, I think, will always trump everything. If someone's hurting, if someone's in need, I'm going to be there, for them. I'm going to do my best. But with church events or, things like that, I've got to make sure that I am, like we were just talking about, not pouring out so much of me at work, at home, at church, that I get back to that place I was at.
Yeah.
So I think, prayer is a big thing. It might sound like the generic answer, but, that's what I have to do. I have to go to him with everything. Lord, today I've got this, this, and this. Show me where you want me. Show me where I can be of most service to you.
Yes.
And sometimes that's, Holly, you don't have to be at this event today. Holly, you don't have to be here today.
Yes.
Support your husband by having a meal ready for him when he comes home.
Yes.
Having his book by his table, so he can come home and put his glasses on and read. And, just making the room for him to be him as well.
Yeah. That's so good. I love what you said, bringing it back to the priorities. And then asking the Lord, God, what would you have of me today? What is the best use of me today? Because I can't do it all. And so you're the only one that can see my heart, my relationships, this church that I'm in. It's your bride.
That's right.
You're the lover of the bride. You're the pursuer of the bride. I'm just a part of this bride. How do I serve best today?
Right.
And that could mean going to bed at 9 p.m.
Please, Lord, let it be going to bed at 9 p.m.
Yeah, it could be. It's going to look different for us.
Yeah.
One of the things that has helped me with that is asking the Lord, help me, God, help me know where to step. And then also asking Trent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our husbands see us. And our husbands have a lot of wisdom about the best use of us.
Yes.
Like they know our gifting. They see when we're getting burned out. They a lot of times have a really good understanding of the situation to say, yes, you should be involved in that, or no, you shouldn't.
Right. So, and we need that wisdom, because you're a lot like me. Like I want to say yes to everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we can't.
No.
And sometimes we need them to let us know what's best.
Yeah. Or we'll end up in church bawling our eyes out.
Yes.
I wonder how many pastors' wives are listening right now going, me too, girl.
Been there.
Me too. Too many times.
Yes.
Yeah. Talk a little bit more about priorities, because you're right. It does come back to those. How do you figure out what your priorities are as a young family in ministry?
That's good. I think it's going to look different for everyone.
Yeah.
You have to seek the Lord about it, and I spent a lot of time, asking him, God, you've given me these two precious boys, and they're gifts to me. And I don't want to do anything that would, number one, hinder their relationship with you. And number two, cause me to be out of bounds that would, throw the whole family out of bounds. And so seeking him for those answers and then putting them into practice, and modeling that for my kids as best as I could. We said no to things.
Yeah.
I call it, Lord, release me from the burden of having to be at everything. Release me from the burden of, honestly, I'm not great at hospitality. And one of the boundaries that I had to put in is I feel like I poured myself out so much at church, especially when I work there.
Yes.
And so you're in a small group and you're working at the church and you're serving at the church and your friends are the church. And I had to say I needed a safe place. Yeah. And my home was my safe place.
I love that.
And so for me, a boundary that was a priority was a boundary of I'm not going to open my home up as much as others do. Yeah. I will meet you wherever you want to meet. Yes. But my home has to be my safe place where I can unplug and
So good. So good. And then for me, as the pastor's wife, I wasn't in the church office all day long.
Right.
And so I missed those interactions. So for me, it was easier to open my home because I hadn't been with the people all day. And so you're just going back to what works for you.
Right.
What gifting has God given you? What are the desires of your heart? Mm-hmm. What is God blessing? Those are the directions I'm going to go. Yes. And it's going to look so different for each of us. We have to be true to who we uniquely are because God made us unique, different individuals.
That's right.
And so the priorities for you are going to look very different than maybe my priorities. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I love is that we get to give each other grace in that.
That's right. Praise the Lord for grace.
Yes. We get to give each other grace to say, you know what? She does it completely different. and praise God because God's using her in ways that I could never do.
Right.
And he's using me in ways that maybe aren't her favorite ways to step into and bless each other in their ministries.
That's right.
Yeah.
Lord, would you give us all that heart to see each other that way and not compare of why I'm different and she's different, but wow, look at how you've uniquely created her to be, Lord.
Yeah.
And I'm different than that, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And so bless her and her endeavors.
Right.
And let me just do the things that you've called me to do. And I love how you keep just bringing up, when the kids are little, it's just such a short time.
It is.
We both have grown kids now, and just guarding that time when they're little. I used to have a friend of mine, her name is Holly Elliff. Holly Elliff used to say, when your kids are little, it's okay to be home with them. God is putting into your heart, he's creating you to be who you are. Mm-hmm. And then as they get older, you're going to have countless opportunities.
That's right.
And you can wait in the patience. And sounds like you learned that
very early on.
Yes. Because we only have a small amount of years to pour into these little lives.
Yes.
Yeah. And they matter.
That's right.
They matter. So that was a huge priority. So you've said just learning a boundary for me, not opening my home, a boundary for me, being there for my kids, prioritizing my kids. When my kids are home, I'm home.
That's right.
Can you think of anything else that just kind of helped you? Because I've watched you juggle a lot of ministry really well. And so I'm like, she's got to have some kind of grid, and it may be subconscious. But if you can think of any of a grid that you're like, these are just kind of things that we don't move.
My husband's always been very supportive of my jobs. And I think we've just developed this mutual trust in if he says, Holly, I need you there, I'm there. If I say, Matt, I would love to be there, but I can't on this one, he understands.
Yeah.
And I think that relationship that we've developed in understanding and communicating well on what's important and what is not as important has helped us know that we've got our boundaries too, as far as I know when he really needs me to be at something and he knows when I really can't. Yeah. And so just knowing those has helped because he knows I'm not saying no because I don't want to.
You're right.
I don't want to be there. He knows I'm saying no because I can't.
Yeah. I love hearing that. So speak to the woman who maybe that isn't happening in her relationship with her husband. She is maybe saying, I can't. Like, I'm tapped out. I'm burned out. I'm giving out in so many ways. I need to not go on Wednesday night. Yeah. I need to not be a part of a second Bible study.
Yes.
Whatever it is, but he maybe is not hearing her. Mm-hmm. Maybe because he's afraid of what it would look like if his wife isn't there, or a wrong perception of what pastor's wife should do. How would you encourage that wife to move forward? Like, what would you tell her in order to help get to the place where y'all are? Yeah,
that's hard. I actually have a friend in that very situation that's a pastor's wife right now. And, first of all, I love that she has come to me as a safe space. Everybody's got to have a safe person that they can go to. Yeah. And so, her coming to me and sharing what I just shared with you has helped her, but helping her navigate the concern would be, but I want to be submissive to my husband. Yeah. And so it's that fine line, right? Like, she doesn't want to seem like she's not being submissive, but she's exhausted. Yeah. And so, I shared with her number one, pray for your husband.
Yeah.
Pray that the Lord would reveal it to his heart.
Yeah.
Pray that he would have ears to hear your heart when you're talking to him and saying these things. And don't be afraid to be really honest, and just, I need to sit down and I need to have this talk right now because I can't do one more thing or you're not going to have a healthy wife.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be a lot worse than it is now, and nobody wants no pastor wants their wife to get to that point, and I think it's just about the healthy communication, the honest communication, the prayer for the heart to hear and see the hurt. That's what I've shared with her. Yeah. And then just walking with her through it,
Yeah. That's good to have a friend. I know at times when I've felt like Trent isn't hearing me, I've had to go softer, like almost come to him when he is willing to hear, and instead of getting louder, just to get softer and lean in and say, I need you to hear me on this. Right. I don't know what I'm doing that's not communicating, but I need you to hear me. Can you put down the phone?
Yes.
Can you disengage? Yeah. Can you hear me? And that has gone a lot better and a lot further than me just either constantly bringing it up or bringing it up at bad times.
That's a key right there, Andrea. That's a key right there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to say, I need you to hear my heart. I need you to see me.
That's right.
We're a team. We're in this together. And I want to leave it all out there for the Lord. But I'm hurting, and I don't have any more to give. Yeah. Can you help me figure out some healthy boundaries so that we're still presenting this united front? People know we're in this together. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Can you help me see this in ways of where I should step in and where I should not?
That's good. So
that I can keep this resiliency, because I want to be in ministry a long time.
Yes.
I don't want to burn out.
That's
I don't want to be, on the sidelines eventually. And so I've got to have some boundaries to help make that happen. So
that's good.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Holly, for our time, just being able to talk about resiliency. I've watched you have a resilient life, and you're a person I want to learn from. So I'd love to continue this discussion for maybe one more podcast if you're up for it.
I am here for it. Yes.
Sounds good.
Thank you, friend.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like to learn more about the Church Hub and how we're strengthening ministry leaders and the families who walk with them, you can visit thechurchhub.org. Until we meet again, I'll be praying that you experience the nearness of Jesus.